Hi, Karen from EdibleWildFood.com here. In between two birch that have blanked me, no chaga. Oh well. It is the middle of March. It is a gorgeous day, and I have a hankering for wild mushroom soup. Absolutely no way to find any fungi out here, but I certainly have an idea. So, how about you follow me along, and I'm going to take you somewhere where we can forage for fresh mushrooms. Alrighty, so let's go foraging in the grocery store. That might sound insane, but when one person gets very desperate to have wild mushroom soup, they'll go to any extent to make that happen. Now, this is going to be a pricey one because look at that. However, it's going to be worth it. I have a few ideas floating around in my head, and these guys are going to come home as well. And let's take these, head home, and start chefing it up. I'm back home now, and before I start laying out all the various ingredients that I plan on using in creating my wild mushroom soup, I wanted to show you first what I'll be using to make a mushroom base. All these mushrooms were foraged last year and ground into a powder. And this, I find, is a fabulous way of using wild mushrooms whenever you want throughout the entire year. I didn't do the Latin names, of course, because I know what these are. And each and every one of these is going to be part of the soup base. Now, as you can see here, I didn't exactly have a lot of elm or late autumn oyster mushrooms, so I just kind of put them together into one jar and use them in a variety of different ways. Now, having said grinding down, turkey tails do not grind down that well. So what I plan on doing is keeping this separate, and once I've made basically a tea with just the turkey tail, I'll add it into the overall broth, and we'll see what it ends up tasting like. And each and every one of these, by the way, are on my website, with the exception of the pine mushroom, matsutake. And at some point when I organize my pictures better, I will have that on the website. What I did here is I took a heaping tablespoon of each jar of mushroom and put it into this bowl. And you can see how great that looks. The only thing missing right now is, of course, the turkey tails that are in there infusing. And once they're done, I'll add it to here, and I'll have my broth to continue onward. And here we go. This is how many morels I got for $9.99, and 2/3 of those, approximately, I'm going to put into my broth and rehydrate them. Then the other third I'm going to keep back, so at some point I can use them to make omelets. Now the work begins. These are the king oyster mushrooms that I purchased, and of course the regular brown mushrooms from the grocery store. Lots of onions, and I have to hunt down my garlic. I'm not sure how much fresh garlic I have left, but if I'm not lucky enough to have lots of fresh garlic, then that's no problem. I have tons of garlic powder I can use. Now let's get chopping. So now the mushrooms and the onions are sauteing, including the morels. They've rehydrated, and I just chopped them up into smaller pieces and added them in like that. The king oysters and the regular mushroom I just chopped up super, super fine. And this is smelling really good. Et voila! Check that out. My wild mushroom soup. It's really hot right now. I'm going to let that cool down a bit before I enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Just remember, don't fret over whether you have dehydrated mushrooms or not. This is a whole brand new season coming up. And when you go out there foraging, always keep in mind how to preserve them long term. So when it's the middle of March and there's no fresh mushrooms around, there's a way to make it work for you. Anyways, again, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making this soup. And if you like it, please share my video and give it a thumbs up. And if you're brand new to my channel, if you can do me the kindness and subscribe. Thank you.